Hi, this is Billy Tarasio from Modern Law Practice, and today we're going to talk about how you need to move your consultations to Zoom. Now, I say need, I don't know when people are going to be watching this, so I should explain some context. Right now, we are in a pretty much nationwide shutdown due to the coronavirus or COVID-19, and so many of our consultations are taking place via Zoom. Many people have been ordered not to leave their home. I'm in Arizona and we're not one of them. So I am in my office. But over the past week, I've done a lot of meetings with other people via Zoom. And here's rule number one when you're doing a consultation with a client via Zoom. Your space matters. I've been talking to a lot of people this week who are in their bedroom, and I get it because you're stuck at home. But if you're doing a consultation, you still need to be in a professional environment. I say that while I'm in a t-shirt, and I'm in a t-shirt because I'm not meeting with clients today, but you want to look like you're a lawyer. You want your background to look like an office, or at least be professional and not distracting. So that is the first tip with Zoom meetings. So you've got your background and your environment. The next thing you've got is your sound and your light. I am using and a light. And this matters because you don't want people distracted by their inability to hear you or their inability to see you. The same way we put effort into how our offices look and how we look within our office, we need to do that via Zoom. Now, second point, typically when I'm in a consultation, I take notes on my computer. Some people don't take notes at all. Some people take notes on hand. When I'm having a Zoom meeting, I cannot take notes on my computer. So I'm often writing on a notepad next to me, or you can not take notes. You can record your call. You could ask the person for permission and record the call and then upload it to the file. That would then give you a separate audio and video component, which might be really helpful for you and when you're handing that off. So that's one thing that Zoom has that other people don't have. Here's another tip. When it makes it harder to close when you're on a Zoom call. So if you've watched the rest of the course, you know that I want you to close in the moment, which means holding their hand and physically walking through the process of hiring you. And that is harder to do via Zoom. What I did on the last Zoom meeting I had was I sent the client agreement via the chat feature in Zoom and asked them to go ahead and open that. I then gave them the opportunity to walk through that with me, or told them we could talk later for questions. Next time, I am going to ask them to go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to click on it, and we're going to do it together. So that is the best way that I think we can treat a Zoom conference, the same way we do an in-person conference, and then move to the scheduling of a strategy session, all while probably you only want to share the screen really when you go through that client agreement. So let me give you an example so you can see what this looks like. I've got my client agreement here. I'm pasting it into the chat. Then I'm going to share my screen. And pop into the client agreement. So if I'm doing this with a client, it's okay. Did you go ahead and click on that? And you should be looking at the Modern Law client agreement. Is that right? All right, great. So I'm just gonna type your name in here. If you could do the same thing, we'll just do it together. Joe Blow. All right, and then we'll hit next. This is where your email goes. We got Joe Blow at Yahoo. Next. Oh, it needs a com. That's too bad. I'll put testing because I don't want to screw up my data. Now here's the terms and conditions. You got to go ahead and click the box, but if you open up the terms and conditions, I want to go through this with you. And then I'd go through this pretty quickly with the client. Now we'll go back to the jot form and click next. The deposit that we talked about is $5,000. The hourly fees we talked about, you're working with Kylie, she's at $325. Go ahead and click that and move forward. You're going to authorize here for us to keep $1,000 balance in your trust account. And then you're going to sign here. At that point, you'll hit next. And this is a little tricky here. You have to hit submit. I'm not going to do that because it's going to mess up our stats, but you have to hit submit, and then you come up here to LawPay, and then you can walk through them putting in their money to do the deposit. So that is how you can essentially transform your Zoom consultation into a in-person consultation and try to keep the same consultation rates or the same conversion rates that you've got in office. So good luck. Thank you. Oh, the other tip I wanted to give you was to send your clients information about Zoom in advance. So let them know through a canned email, and I can go ahead and provide that to you, what to expect when they set up for Zoom and the settings. So when you're setting up the Zoom meeting, you want to look at the settings and you want to make sure that you're setting it up. I'll just open this up. On preferences, on your general preferences, you're going to want to scale to fit the shared content. You're going to want to prompt a confirmation before leaving the meeting and offer different views of people. For video, you want to go ahead and go in there and touch up your appearance and enable HD, because why not? Audio is where you can test your speakers. Chat allows you to chat with that individual, send them information back and forth. I don't think you should do a virtual recording. And that is all you need to know, I think, to set up your Zoom meetings. Although, wait a minute. When you're scheduling a meeting, you're going to start the meetings with the video on or off. You can do the audio type as telephone and computer, as telephone or as computer audio. You want to choose computer audio because then people will have to use their computer and go in, which means you'll be able to see them easier. Or if you want to give them the option to call in from their cell phone, then you can click the under the settings on Zoom, the telephone and computer audio. You can password protect your meetings. You can encode and encrypt your meetings. There are so many things that you can do. So there's the settings piece, and then there's the execution of the consultation piece. But by following these steps, you're going to be able to do a Zoom video conference for an initial consultation just as well as you would an in-person one.